delisted. Yes, you heard that right. In a seemingly shocking turn of events, BinanceUS announces they are delisting Jasmy coin. Here's the tweet that BinanceUS put out last night, Tuesday. Based on our recent review, Jasmy coin and Helium will be delisted from the platform on March 21st. That's next week. Now, they didn't give a specific reason as to why they are delisting the coin, but they did link to an article here which sort of gives a hybrid of reasons of why from time to time they do delist certain coins. The article states at BinanceUS, we periodically review each digital asset we list to ensure that it continues, keyword continues, to meet the standard of excellence we expect. When we conduct these reviews, we consider a variety of factors. Here are some that drive whether we decide to delist digital asset. Changes in a digital asset's risk profile, its regulatory standing, commitment of the team to the project, level and quality of the development activity, trading volume and liquidity. So we're not quite sure which reasons applied here, and some people are wondering. I'm also confused as to why they didn't provide a reason. Well, at Binance, they don't really have to provide a reason in these cases. I know that in past cases, they definitely have not provided a specific reason, so this is normal. We can sort of dig through. I mean, we can do process of elimination. Some of these reasons definitely don't apply. So level of community engagement. Jasmy is one of the most engaged communities in all of crypto, despite the long-term sort of very poor price performance at the beginning, at least. Very engaged community, so it's definitely not that. Then there's a bunch of security things like stability and safety of network from attacks, network smart contract stability. Those things don't really apply either. There's never really been any large-scale hacks or security breaches, that kind of stuff. I've heard other people talk about trading volume and liquidity as one reason. I don't really think so. This coin does have pretty high liquidity in all the exchanges. That's never been a problem. So I don't think that applies. So we're not really sure. I will give my specific reasons. Of course, Hara was sort of absent here, not really tweeting, but that's kind of normal for him. His last tweet was March 6th, and a lot of people have sort of called him out or inquired on Twitter. Hara, can you provide a reason, a statement? And he is a radio silent so far, but that's Hara, tweets once a week, once every 2 weeks, not much more. He does have an AMA coming up next week, March 21st. I think that date is just coincidental. That's the date that they're delisting the token, the same date as his Telegram AMA. I think it's just a coincidence. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if Hara holds that AMA, because then we'll provide some reasons as to what he thinks happened here. Regardless, so what do I think is going on is probably the more pressing question. Well, I'll explain. I have a couple ideas. Now, CZ, in prior interviews, people have always asked him, so what are the things you look for when deciding to list a token and also to have it keep listed on your platform, not to remove it? And he has always said two specific things. He likes a good communication from the team. So if Binance reaches out to the lead developer with a question, a clarification point, they just want quick responses within a couple hours. They don't like teams who take a day to respond. For example, Terra Luna, when that imploded, Do Kwon, I know that he reached out to CZ. He wanted CZ's help in the situation. CZ was thinking about it for the first couple days, but CZ said he was turned off by the fact that Do Kwon just took like a couple days to respond to his emails. His communication was terrible in CZ's words. So communication is big. And then he has also said, CZ, the most important thing is the metrics, the usage, beyond just good price action, good community. He wants a lot of people using the coin, and he wants metrics to back it up. So like token holders, that's a prominent count. He wants to see a good number of token holders and then the level increasing. He wants to just see a user count increasing. If a project has an NFT, he wants to see strong NFT sales and increasing, stuff like that. He wants to see strong social media numbers. So he likes metrics that shows that not only the community is big and the price action is good, but that a lot of people are actually using the product. So how does it tie in with Jasmy? Well, the communication, obviously, Jasmy doesn't really have a Twitter page. They have this Twitter page here, Jasmy MGT, huge following. They, like Hara, barely tweet. The last tweet was February 28th. Even before this drama went down, they hadn't tweeted in about 12, 13 days. And then as for the development, well, there really hasn't been that much with Jasmy in the last couple months. So here's their roadmap, the 2023 roadmap, which they released about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. Now, it did cause the price to pump when it came out, which roadmaps do tend to cause that to happen. But honestly, and I mentioned this on my channel, I was kind of disappointed with this roadmap. It just didn't really have too many specific sort of goals they were looking to achieve or specific metrics that they were looking to cross. I mean, look at these things. Just develop AI engine. This is kind of very generic. Develop carbon credit consortium, very generic. Conduct data marketing and verification, whatever the hell that means. More develop AI engine, more develop carbon credit consortium. Start data value exchange, whatever the hell that means. Develop Jasmy coin investment function. Just very vague stuff. Most roadmaps state, like year 2 roadmaps, include very specific metrics. Like in this quarter, we want token holders at 100,000, then token holders at 200,000, 300,000. Twitter followers, we want at 50,000, 100,000. Exchanges, we want 15 exchanges, 25, 30 partnerships, etc. This 2023 year 2 roadmap had none of that. None of that whatsoever. The 2022 roadmap actually was pretty detailed and thorough. See, they have 50 exchange listings to 60 to 70, those goals, partners, 10, 12 partnerships, 15 partnerships, Jasmy fan token release, that was a specific metric that they did hit, 1,000 participants in the Platinum Data Happiness Project, again, a specific metric, and they did hit that. So, some of the, I don't think they quite got up to 7 exchanges here, but, so some of the goals in the initial roadmap they didn't quite reach. That's fine. At least the roadmap was very detailed, and most of it they were on point with. But then the 2023 roadmap, they just looked like they sort of half-assed it. Didn't put too much into it. I believe the Binance did notice that and was not impressed, as I was not too impressed. So, commitment of team to project, level and quality of the development activity, and then, it wouldn't surprise me, Hara, he doesn't really tweet, and as I said, CZ communication is big. It wouldn't surprise me if, in the last month or so, Binance was noticing the sort of lack of development activity. They probably reached out to Hara to ask for some clarifications on what the team plans on doing in the next year, and, roadmap milestones, that kind of stuff. It wouldn't be surprised me if Hara just didn't respond, or somebody from Jasmy just didn't respond. And the way it just happened so randomly and quickly, we're delisting Jasmy. The fact that I know CZ communication is so important, it just wouldn't surprise me if they did try to reach out in a last-ditch effort, got no response, and then that was it. They just decided to cut ties. That would be my guess. We'll see. Even in my last 2 videos here, last week and the week before, honestly, I spent like 2/3 of the videos talking about other things, like the Bitcoin price action, the market action in general, the news, because there just weren't enough developments. But, Jasmy, the community is great. Tons of views. Everyone likes seeing my Jasmy videos. So I like covering them. I wish there were more, specific things to discuss. But, I had to spend 70% of those videos just talking about the market action because there just weren't enough developments in the last couple weeks. The other thing is the BinanceUS versus Binance. This is the thing. This is the only part that was kind of interesting. So it was only delisted from BinanceUS, not from Binance. So could it have something to do with Signature Bank being seized by the U.S. government 2 days ago? Possibly. Signature Banks, I'm sure you've heard me now, that was the big crypto-friendly bank. That was BinanceUS's bank. I don't believe it was Binance's bank. That was BinanceUS's bank. So it could be that the BinanceUS team is just kind of feeling the scrutiny, feeling the U.S. regulatory pressure. And in their mind, they're like, well, any coin that just isn't really adding that much, but is a high-risk token because, well, it is down 99.9% from its high, doesn't perform that good, why don't we just cut ties with it? Honestly, that wouldn't surprise me. Just given the timing, it happened a couple days, literally a day after Signature Bank, and Binance didn't delist on just US. On the drop, as we all know, I think Binance might have also noticed this, but I believe it had to do with the tokenomics. As I've explained 100 times before, coins typically vest. So, here's the team share was 48%, and then the early investor share was 27%. Usually, these people can only cash in about 5% per month over a 2, 3, 4 year period. That's to prevent dumping. I couldn't find the token vesting release schedule anywhere. It just didn't exist, which that shows me that probably all the coins became fully unlocked immediately when the token was first listed on exchanges about 1.5 years ago. And since the price went down so much, then obviously all or most of those, early investor team members appears to sell. What else would cause it to dump so much? And then you can always find the vesting schedules. That's, 99% of projects you can find them. So if you can't, it generally means there isn't a vesting schedule. All the tokens are fully unlocked. So that might have also contributed to it. I mean, regardless, the price wasn't really hit that hard. Thankfully, it was only down 7.5% today. A couple people noticed that. Um, a pretty big dump right here. So if you look at the 1 week chart, it went up kind of gradually then, and the drop was only sort of a small drop in the bucket. As we know, price action is mostly reflected on the community and does one of the strongest communities. So an announcement like that, it's disappointing. The community isn't going anywhere. So that's why it didn't cause sort of a nuclear reaction. I've also seen tweets like this. Some people are saying, doesn't Binance own millions of Jasmy, like 30 to 40%? No, I've never heard that. That's not true. I haven't seen that. That's just fake news. People are implying Binance either bought, like, they were an early investor to the tune of, like, a lot of money in the beginning, or they just were bullish on Jasmy and bought 30 to 40% of the tokens. No, I've never heard that. That is not true right there. But anyways, that's it. So I definitely want to hear from you guys. Let me know, what do you think is the reason for BinanceUS delisting Jasmy? Let me know. Be back tomorrow with a new episode. Ben Crypto signing out. Catch you later.